farmer's market. I don't know why everything has to have a pinch of salt. But all of this is local. It's so cool. For the competition. It's Friday night, contest is on Sunday. Tomorrow I have the kitchen claimed for like 6 hours to do the baking, so I want to have everything kind of ready, like my mise en place ready, because I prefer to finish early. I can't finish crazy early because this kind of dough takes about 45 minutes to initially prep and then rise, because it's a yeast dough, and then you start doing your turns, and there's 3 turns at least. And so it tends to take a little less than 4 hours just to get the dough ready. And then I have to like actually put together the dish, bake it, have like in between the turns I'll be preparing the filling, and so there's just a lot of mise en place that I can get done ahead of time. But the nice thing is once I'm done in the kitchen tomorrow, I'll be done until like I leave for the contest. Like I'll have to pack the car. But everything will be as ready as it can be for the contest. So, I'm just going to chat with you a little bit while I get some stuff ready. So the first thing I'm going to do is prep my vanilla bean. I will be putting this into my heavy whipping cream tonight so that it has lots of time to really be taken into the cream and make it as potently vanilla as possible. So what I've done is I've taken the vanilla bean and I've sliced it in half using just the tip of my knife, and now I'm going to spread it open with my spatula. Like so. Look at all that vanilla bean goodness. No. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down and scrape and get all of that paste off. I'm just going to dump that right into the cream. Yes, there's some pulp, but I can always strain it before I whip it. And that pulp has so much flavor on it. I really want to, I'll actually drop the whole bean in as well, but you want to go ahead and separate the paste from the bean first, because that will get mixed into the cream even after you've removed the bean. So I'm just going to scrape this direction one more time, get the last of it, pick up these pieces, and put them into the cream like so. Uh-oh. Dip, dip, dip. Like that. And then I'm going to turn it around and scrape the other end like so. No fleck left behind. And I'm just going to scrape it into here. And then I'm just going to do that with the rest of my beans. Okay, so now I've got all of that delicious paste in there, and I'm just going to drop the whole bean in. And let it just soak for the next like 15 hours. Not 15, 40 hours. And in order to get the little speckles off the top, I'm just going to give it a little turn. You don't want to shake it too much or you'll start to churn it into butter. So that is how I'm going to make my vanilla bean with whipped cream. Now over here, what I've got going is this is a way to make peaches easier to peel. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to blanch these peaches, which means that I'm just going to basically give it a chance for the skin to get hot and therefore loosen up a little from the fruit. And that's all it takes. And then I'm going to shock it in the ice water. I'm going to do that with each peach in this nearly boiling water, like so. I've chosen just barely ripe, like they are not underripe, but they are not as ripe as they could be, peaches. And I did that because they will be getting cooked tomorrow until they are nice and soft and almost gelatinous. I don't want them to break down too much with all that cooking. So, let me see how these are doing. Yeah, so I'll go a little on the longer side for these. But you don't want to cook your peach, you just want to loosen the skin. So, that's probably good. Now I have a lot of peaches, so I'm not going to do all of them on camera. But then all you have to do is kind of loosen the skin with your fingers, and then it should peel off very easily, rather than sitting in hand peeling everything like it's a potato or something. And I'll just talk to you really briefly while I work on this, and then I'll show you the next step and call it a night for filming. So I've got a long night ahead of me. Yeah, it's funny, I'm not really the type to get nervous much. I actually do public speaking for my second career, as part of my second career, and it never really makes me nervous. It's always been kind of an advantage for me. But I think today, you know, I bought my ingredients, and I think I got a little bit of sticker shock, because I want to have the highest possible quality ingredients. I want this to be worth all the effort and the money that I put into it, so I would like to win. That'd be cool, you know. And I normally don't really think about the stakes of something like this, because I'm not a terribly competitive person. I try to just kind of keep my head down and focus on my own goals. But, you know, I'm not really competing against other people. I'm really competing on my own behalf in this case, and I think it's starting to dawn on me. And I'm not nervous about the recipe. It's as flawless as it can be. But I think just having money invested by purchasing ingredients always makes me like a little bit anxious and a little bit nervous. Like even when I cater a wedding, and you know, they'll usually like I charge a deposit, and they'll usually pay me a deposit for the ingredients and everything, and then I either get paid everything the day before the wedding or immediately after, depending on how close of a relationship I have with them. But usually when I go grocery shopping, I get this panic, because like one time, I have actually had a major snafu while privately catering. My oven died in the middle of baking the groom's cake, and I had to find another oven. And the thing is, part of why my food is so good is because I do make it at the last possible second. It kind of has to go right the first time. That's, you know, it's a big risk, but it's also a big reward, because then you deliver the freshest possible product, and it's always going to be just a little better than anybody that didn't. And obviously I wanted to do that for this competition, and then I also wanted to source local peaches, which was a little bit of an anxiety trap too, because technically peaches have been out of season for about a week. But I had it on good authority that they were confident that this one farm would provide good peaches this week. And so I had to go across town to a farmer's market that's open on Fridays. It's actually open all week. It's a really cool farmer's market. So I went across town to this market to buy these local peaches that were the only sure thing, because I really thought about it, and having to use a different fruit for this recipe, it would have been fine, but it wouldn't have been the best, and I really wanted it to be its best option. So, took a big risk. Anyway, I think it paid off because the peaches were available, but I think it got my nerves up. It got my anxiety going, because when I got there, this lady was starting to clean out those peaches, and we were kind of like, both of us very politely feeling all the peaches and grabbing them as fast as we could. Like, we were totally going to let the other one get any peaches that we found, but like, we were both going at them at the same time. And if I'd come in like 5 minutes later, I would have missed all the best peaches. So it was kind of a nerve-wracking thing. And then I also had both kids in tow at the time, which I did have my mom there to help me with them, but I felt bad leaving her in charge of them while I was being like competitive peach picker. But yeah, and then ultimately, because these were local peaches, and I had to buy local pecans as well, because I'm picky, the tally was over $100. In fact, once I got the other ingredients, it'll probably come out to a little less than $150, because I have to make 25 servings for the judges, and I have to assume that several servings will not work out and will be ugly or something. And so I really have to make like 30 to 35 servings. And I went ahead and got some extra peaches, I admit, because I thought, well, I'm doing all this work. It doesn't really take a whole lot more work to make more servings. So I thought, well, maybe I can recoup some of the money that I'm spending on these ingredients by selling the extra servings, because come Sunday night, there's a chance that I can advertise them to my friends and family who already love my baking as award-winning. And so I thought it might be worth, trying that, because I'm pretty sure I could sell them even if they're not award-winning. So I think my anxiety's just been high today because of some of that and just some other things. Fridays are also a little high just because like the degree of time spent with people who are still learning to speak or aren't speaking yet versus like adults is it's a pretty high proportion. So I just start to get anxious and a little exhausted with I think just like anybody does by Friday, whatever their job is, whether it's watching kids or cooking, or although chefs rarely have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday kind of schedule, but I think everybody gets tired. So anyway, so I'm just gonna let my anxieties out on my vlog, because that's kind of what it's for a little bit. Okay, so this water is why you should wash your fruit before you eat it. That was clear, beautiful, sparkling water in a white pot before I started. So I just wanted to show you really quickly how this blanching thing works. So what it does is it actually loosens the skin around the peach. So it's hard for you to tell, but it's just moving. Let me see if I can get it close enough. It's just moving and almost bunching up under my finger. And if you see, so my thumb just tore that little piece off. It'll just peel right off, nice and beautiful. So essentially what it does is it makes it much, much, much faster and less annoying in general to peel your peach. You don't even have to use a knife. You just pull it off. It's so satisfying. I could probably do an ASMR video tonight, but I won't. So I'm probably only going to peel the peaches for the extra ones, not the contest ones tonight, because they said to prep in an industrial kitchen, and that's what I will do for the contest. But I will be baking all of them together, so I'm going to go ahead And I will keep these separate so that I do not get in trouble for the contest rules. But how gorgeous is that? Completely peeled. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Jim, do you remember the word for when you blanch? That's the word.
When you what?
Sorry. Never mind. Forgot the word.
Blanched?
Blanch, yeah.
That's a good word.